Hey guys, today I want to talk to you about the differences that I've noticed between Asian women and Latina women. Just what I've seen from traveling around. So grab your beer, pull a seat up, let's talk about it. Alright guys, appreciate you stopping back to my little channel. I think I'm up to 88 subscribers, but I don't put out a video but every so often. I'm going to try to put one out at least once a week. I've been real busy here lately for the last week. I've been helping a friend of mine install the in-ground pool. Of course, I busted my lip over here. And then I was sick for about 3 or 4 days with a stomach virus or something. I don't know what it was, but I was up and down sick for 3 or 4 days. Feel better now. I had a little time today, so I thought I'd make a video. Today's video is going to be the differences between Asian women and Latina women. My observations from my travels. So I want to give a shout out to Tex Wade. I think he said he was in Thailand right now, and he wanted me to do a little video on the differences between Asian women and Latina women. So I'm going to go ahead and give you that video, Tex Wade. Alright, so I was married to a Filipina. I've been in several countries in Asia, China, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, some places. I lived in the Philippines. I was married to a Filipina. I was also married to a Mexican. I traveled South America, Central America, and I lived in Nicaragua for a year, lived with a woman there. So I've observed a lot of things traveling around from Latina countries, Latin countries, to Asian countries. So I'm just going to tell you the observations I made as far as women, the differences. Now, I'm not going to group all these women together. There's some great women in the Philippines. It's just like any other country. There's some great women in South Central America. But I'm just going to give you the observations on the women that I've dealt with. Like I said, every relationship's different, so I'm not trying to belittle any woman here or group you all together, because that's not true, that's not fair. There's some great Filipino men, there's some bad Filipino men. There's some great Latino men, there's some bad Latino men. Same in America. I mean, it's wherever you go. It's just according to who you run into. So let's go ahead and get started talking about the differences that I've seen. Let's talk about the beauty of these women and the way they dress. I've noticed that the Asian women, and I'm mostly going to be talking about the Philippines because that's what I know the best. They're more conservative in dress, and there's some beautiful Filipinas, and of course you guys know that. But they're more conservative and in public. Now, they're not as conservative as you think they are behind closed doors. But they don't flaunt it. Now, in the Latin countries I've been to, they dress more sexy, and they're absolutely beautiful too. I noticed that the Asian women, they're more petite, smaller, more fragile, more shy. And the Latina women, they're not as shy. They flaunt it. They dress tight clothes, low cut shirts. They're more likely to flirt with you than an Asian woman. But I love them both. Latina women seem to be a little bit more on the thicker side, top and bottom. Of course, now, you know, Asian women, I've seen Asian women that was built thick too, top and bottom. But on average, Latina women's a little thicker. So, and somebody asked me before, what did I think was the prettiest, Asian women or Latina women? And it's the honest truth, I don't know. It's hard to say because I've seen some beautiful Asian women and I've seen some beautiful Latina women. So either one for me is great for me. All right. All right. So let's talk about communication. Now, as far as Latina women, from what I've noticed, the further south you go, the more trouble you have with communication unless you speak Spanish. Of course, now you get down farther where they speak Portuguese and stuff. You know, I don't know any Portuguese, but I didn't go that far down. Colombia as far as I went. So I speak Spanish. It's not fluent. You know, I can have conversations. I can get wherever I want to. I can get a cab, order food, get whatever I want by myself. But if you get into a serious conversation, I couldn't sit down with a doctor and have a serious conversation with a lawyer. And I'd have to have somebody to help me out. But the Asian women, and I'm talking about mostly Philippines, of course their second language is English. So it's a lot easier to communicate. That's one reason why I love the Philippines. They have beautiful women. You can communicate with them a lot easier. And of course in South America, they've got beautiful women too. The Latina women are beautiful. And I speak some Spanish, so it helps me out. But if I did not speak some Spanish, because I was married to a Mexican woman for about 10 years, if I didn't speak some Spanish, it would be hard for me to go down south in those countries by myself without a translator. Of course, now you can use your phone translator or whatever to get what you need, but as far as having a relationship, and I still occasionally when I got in some discussions that we just really couldn't understand each other, we'd have to turn to a translator because she just really, what I was saying, she couldn't understand. Even on a translator, some things that you can put in on a translator, and it don't come out the same in another language. It don't have the same meaning as we have. So unless you speak Spanish, you're gonna need a translator because everything down there, the signs are in Spanish. Everything is in Spanish. Everybody speaks Spanish. You'll run across a couple cab drivers, something like that. Maybe if you go to tourist areas, some of them speak English. But if you're out in the province areas or something, or away from the big cities, it's hard to communicate. Unlike the Philippines, you know, you pretty much get around pretty easy just with English. So that's the biggest difference I've seen with the communication. As far as loyalty and trust, I'll be honest with you, I think Asian women are more loyal. It seems like the Latina women seem to be a little bit more wild. They're more into having a good time, and the Asian women are more. I'm talking about younger women, okay? I want to make sure I don't. Now, if you find a Latino older woman, 40s, late 30s, 50s, now she's probably done sowed her oats and calmed down. But I noticed that a lot of the younger Latina women, they like to party and have a good time, explore. They like to have a good time. They're not as shy. So, and as far as picking up a girl, getting a date, well, the Philippines is easier. It's a lot easier to get a date in the Philippines than it is in South America or Mexico. They kind of more into their own age group range. Now, money talks. So if you go down there and they see that you're rich and you got money, that helps. But I think all women are pretty much after the same thing. They're out for a better life, and I don't blame them. I was a woman, I'd be the same way. They're out to find a man with a better life, for a better life, because most of these countries are, you know, a lot of these young women down there are struggling. Same with the Philippines, they struggle. So if they find a decent looking man that's good, that can support them and take care of them, you know, they'll jump on them. But I just noticed mostly in, you know, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, Venezuela, Colombia, these women are just, they're short time. They're just trying to get what they can get from you while they're with you. And these Asian women from Philippines and stuff, they're more likely to settle down with you. All right, so let's talk about the different cultures. Like I said before, it's kind of hard to say because Thailand's got a different culture than the Philippines. Japan's got a different culture. South Korea's got a different culture, those countries. So I'm just going to talk about the Philippines. The Philippines and the Latinos, they have a similar culture. Of course, you know, the Spaniards ruled over the Philippines for a long time, hundreds of years. That's why they have their last names are Spanish last names, most of them, if not all of them. So they have some Latino blood in them, and they like a lot of the same foods, and some of their words are the same. But from what I've noticed, the cultural differences is, besides they're family oriented, both are family oriented, Filipinos and Latinos. Family means a lot to them, but the culture in the Philippines is you're supposed to support your mother and father, nieces, nephews, brothers and sisters if you got a job. Not all now. Now, I'm not generalizing all. I'm just saying most of what I've seen. Now, you know, there's some rich Filipinos out there. They don't need no help from nobody. But most of the country, I don't think is rich. They're struggling. And their retirement plan is their children. They don't get Social Security and unemployment. They don't have savings. They depend on their children. They raise them up, instill it in their head. When I get older, it's your job to take care of me, to feed me, keep my power on, all this stuff. I didn't notice that too much in the Latino culture. They are very family oriented, and they do help their family. They do. I mean, they help their family. That's why a lot of these people cross the border illegally in the United States to work to send money home to their family. But it seems like it's a little bit harder on the Filipinos than it is Latinos. So they just can't cross the border and go to another country and work and make more money one day than they can make in a month, like people down in Mexico or Venezuela or something can do here. The religion from the Philippines and Latinos is mostly Catholic. I'd probably say both areas, South America, Mexico, all the way to the Philippines, is Catholic. So they have a Christianity-based religion. All right, let's talk about the sense of humor. Even though the Filipinos speak English, they still don't get our humor. And they take everything you say literal when you joke with them. You call Filipino your sugar poot. You're my sugar poot. And she'll think that you really believe that she's farting sugar. She don't get it. You know, they don't get your humor whatsoever, whatever you say. So whatever comes out of your mouth, they're gonna take it literally. You know. So, and they'll get upset because they don't understand that you're giving them a compliment. And it's pretty much the same way South America, Central America, Mexico. They don't really get our humor, and And I've seen some jokes and stuff in Spanish and different languages, Cebuano, Tagalog, Bisaya, and I've tried to translate those jokes. And I've seen some jokes on Facebook that you can hit the translation, it translates, and it don't make a bit of damn sense to me. I don't understand what they're saying. So it's the same for them. They just don't get our humor, because you really have to be fluent in the language to understand the humor. And as far as having a very intellectual conversation, that's very hard to get from the Philippines or in the Latin countries. I'd say it's easier for me because I speak Spanish. I can have a conversation in their language, an intellectual conversation about something. But the education, there seems to be, the education is harder to come by in the Philippines. A lot of these kids have to quit school real early, 12, 13, 14 years old, to help make money for their family. So they don't get the education to have a very intellectual conversation. And support for the family, like I said before, you know, they're expected in the Philippines to support their family. That's basically a requirement for them. So if you're with them, you might as well plan on helping her, because if she's not able to work because she's with you, somebody's going to take the slack. It's probably going to be you. And I'm not saying you got to buy them a house and give them $500 a month in place of her daughter, but you're going to have to help out occasionally and give them a little money, because they depended on her to work to help them survive. And if you take her away from them, then you're cut off their lifeline. And if it comes down to it, if you don't help out, I can tell you now, the Filipina's family has got a lot more control over than you do. They'll have her to leave you. I don't care if she loves you or not. She'll, you know, that's her blood. So when it comes down to it, she's going to stick with her blood if it means helping them survive. So now, down south in the Latino countries, I didn't see that too much. You know, they help their family, but it's not the same. You know, they don't expect their daughter, son, to help them weekly or monthly to pay their bills, but they try to help their parents. They don't expect their spouses, from what I've seen. I've never had a Latino woman say, "Can you help my mom and daddy with medicine? Can you help them with the fire bill?" I've never had that. I've had them ask me a couple times, "Hey, could you give my mama $20 for medicine? She's sick and she's not gonna get no money the next week." I'm like, "Yeah, I give you, ain't no problem. I give you $20." But it's not an income. In the Philippines, you're kind of getting an income. I think as far as romantic, the Philippines, you know, like I said before, they're a little more shy. They're not as outgoing. They don't have a lot of public affection. You will see them hold hands. You really will see them kissing and anything in front of anybody. They hold that keep that behind closed doors. Now, when I was in Nicaragua and Venezuela and Costa Rica and all that stuff, it was pretty open. They was all over each other in public. They didn't hide it at all. Of course, I mean, you know, I'm the type of person, I really don't like doing that stuff in public anyway. I don't mind holding hands or peck on, you know, a little kiss every once in a while, but not groping each other, you know, saying, "Get you a room." You know, I don't like doing that in public. As far as honesty goes, I'll be honest with you, I have trust issues. I don't trust none of them. I've had women from all over the world say one thing and the next day do the exact opposite. Tell me they wouldn't do something, the next day they did exactly what they told me they would never do. Promise me this and then turn right around and not do it. So I mean, if I had to come down to it, I'd probably say Asian women are probably a little bit more honest. And let's talk about sex. Last thing, I'm gonna try to make this kind of quick. I got to be somewhere in about an hour and 15 minutes. I got to get ready, but I want to make this little video. Now, even though I said the Asian women are a little more shy in public, they don't flaunt it. I mean, of course, now if you go to Walking Street or, you know, in any country, in Thailand, whatever, you're going to get those girls walking around half naked. Now, you'll see that a lot more in the Latin countries, Spanish countries, than you will in the Philippines or most Asian countries. They're more conservative. But as far as when you close the doors, if you seen my last video about me getting in this foursome, these women, when you get behind closed doors, they change. Of course, that's for any woman from any country, anywhere, you know. I know you've probably heard people say that preachers' daughters are the wildest women they are. And there's some truth to that too. I found that out when I was in my early 20s. One of the wildest women I ever been with, Daddy was a preacher. I know a couple of them. But, you know, just because they're shy in public don't mean they're shy behind closed doors. But like I said, this girl I went to see in February in the Philippines, I went to see her. She asked to invite a friend to the condo. Next thing I know, that friend ended up, two of them showing up, so I had 3 women there all night long. I didn't plan on none of it. So, and then I had a woman in Nicaragua I dated for a little bit. And we just got talking because I'm very open and honest. I asked her what she liked, how she liked it, what she liked, what turned her on. So I want to know what you like. I want to make sure you're happy too. She said, well, told me what she wanted. And she said, I like to watch you be with another woman. I thought this was a trick. I thought it was a trap. I don't know about that. She said, well, if you don't want to do it, you don't have to. I always fantasize about, you know, watching a couple. I said, your boyfriend? She said, well, you know, I don't watch, you know, blah, 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 went on and on. I said, well, what do you want me to do? She said, anything but kiss her. The kisses are mine. Those are my kisses. I don't want you kissing. And it went on for a little while, about a month or so, and then finally, we got talking, it got brought up again. I said, well, if you want me to do it, I'll do it. You find somebody. She picked out a woman, a couple women, a few women, showed me pictures, friends of hers, asked me what I thought. The one I picked out was the one I said, yeah, I do her. She was beautiful. Then she ended up backing out the last moment, like the night before or something. A little bit later, found another girl. She was pretty too. And that happened. She just sit there and watched me and joined in at the end. So, you know, there's wild women all over the world. You know, you'd be surprised what women want to do. They don't tell you. They act all innocent and stuff, you know. They ain't that innocent, especially if you're real open and honest up front with them. Don't hide nothing, you know. I don't try to act like no goody two-shoes. I don't walk up with flyers and stuff and give them candy and stuff and put them on a pedestal. I treat them good. I'm good to them. I take care of them. And I tell them exactly what I like. I tell them exactly what I want to do. And then you open up communication and stuff, and they get comfortable with you, and they start telling you what you want, what they want to do. So anyway, that's the differences I see from Latino and Asians. I guess if I was looking for a wife, now this is all got to do with according to what age group. I like the younger women about half my age. I'm 55. I like women from 25 to 35. That's just what I like. You don't call me a pervert, whatever. But I just like that age, you know, that age range of women. You know, some people say, well, you know, you already eat fried crickets and worms and stuff. That's good for you. That's good food. That's good protein. That's good. Yeah, it probably is good. It's probably better for you. It probably is, really. But I just like tacos. I just gonna eat the damn taco. You eat that, all that stuff, and guacamole and avocado and kale and all that stuff. And I'm just gonna stick with my chicken wing and all that stuff, pork chops. Y'all can have all that stuff. I just got to where I like this stuff, and this is what I'm gonna eat. So that's my age range, 25 to 30. If you get at an older range, you probably have a better chance of a relationship if you're looking for a relationship. All it's got to do is according to what you're looking for. If you're looking for a good time, just a relationship. If you're looking for a marriage, according to whether you're looking for a family, to start a family. It's all relevant to that. It's according to what you're looking for. But if I was looking for a family, it would probably be the Philippines. That's where I would go to find a wife. Especially if I wanted kids, it's probably where I'd go, would be the Philippines. I don't want kids. I don't want to get married. If you just want to have a good time, any of them's good. All of them beautiful. They're beautiful women all over the world. If you just want to go have a good time, spend a couple weeks here and a couple weeks there, or a month or two, whatever, here and there, and travel around, go to all of them. All right, guys. Tex Wade, I appreciate your comment, and thank you for stopping back by this channel. I'm gonna try to get a quicker video out this time, not wait so long. So I hope all of you have a great day. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.